One of my favorite one-liners that a student at one of our accepted student days described the community as after her first visit to campus was the Trader Joe's of boarding schools. So it's just everyone's really friendly. It's a pretty popular grocery store chain in the US, but everyone's really friendly, really excited to meet you. And I think you feel it as soon as you step on campus. We have graduated the most Olympic swimmers of any other boarding school in the US. We have a great swim program, a beautiful pool, awesome facilities, but I love that fun fact. So if you go on a tour, you'll see some ornaments in our athletic offices about the Olympians that we've had graduate from the school. I think Mercersburg's location really makes it a little more distinct from other schools you might see in New England, where there's more of a tighter boarding school congestion. So we are in South Central Pennsylvania. I think it gives the school a Midwestern feel. We've been described by a lot of people outside of our community as not having sharp elbows. So we're really warm and really friendly. One of my favorite one-liners that a student at one of our accepted student days described the community as after her first visit to campus was the Trader Joe's of boarding schools. So it's just everyone's really friendly. It's a pretty popular grocery store chain in the US, but everyone's really friendly, really excited to meet you. And I think you feel it as soon as you step on campus, and hopefully whenever you interact with a campus representative wherever your boarding school search is taking you. So we have a dining hall that seats our entire student body. So we just have one space where students will eat, but then on the weekends, our student activities coordinator through our Office of Student Life will host events where different groups, classes, even just groups of students can get together and do a fundraiser or just share their culture's food through our True Blue Cafe. So we'll do student takeovers in the True Blue Cafe on Friday or Saturday evenings, and students can go there. You have full range of a full kitchen. Our Office of Student Life will buy whatever supplies you need beforehand so that you can prepare food for other people to try that you associate with your home. It honestly happens throughout the year. There isn't like one set time where it's really popular. We also have a program towards the end of our year called Intensives, and our Mandarin teacher will lead a class in Southeast Asian culture. So she led a trip this summer for students to take over the summer, but she's really invested in, one, being a resource for our students from that area, but two, like helping educate other members of our community that aren't from those areas about what that culture means and what its values are. So those are really popular with students, both from China, Korea, Hong Kong, but also for our domestic students to learn from them. So it's a really cool environment and atmosphere. We're really excited to have appointed a faculty member to the role of Director of Experiential Learning this year. So we're going to work on experiential learning opportunities during the academic day. In the past, geared towards students that were really committed to service opportunities, but they just do it after school. And now we're going to build into this idea of civic engagement in both our academic side, but also our student life side, where we're encouraging students to confront difficult conversations, think about like tension in our own country, and unpack what that means as being a part of a diverse student body. Because of our proximity to the nation's capital, it's really easy to go down there and walk through a museum, listen to a speaker. We're also lucky enough to be close enough where those people will come to our campus to speak with our students. About 5 times a year after a seated dinner on Monday nights, we'll have a lecturer come to campus and kind of just speak to something that they've been researching or something that they've found to be really important in their work as an educator. And we get a lot out of it, and we're able to have conversations internally with our students as well. I'd say we, similar to our signature programs, take advantage of our location in that way too. We have opportunities for students to volunteer, work locally, but we also expand outside of the town of Mercersburg and engage with other students in other areas of the country as well. One of these roles of the Director of Experiential Learning will be helping students find what path they want to follow so that at the end of their 11th grade year, they can choose an international program trip that they'd like to be a part of. Are a range of options. If you're leaning more towards the foreign languages, there will be an immersive trip where you can go to a country with a native tongue of the language that you've been studying at Mercersburg. We also offer a service trip to another country where you can kind of work with less fortunate individuals and help them improve their quality of life, and that can mean more to someone than exploring the foreign language option. And then additionally, it can just be like growth and building on your understanding of another culture. We take our responsibility as educators in a diverse learning community very seriously. We don't want anyone to feel like their opinion or voice isn't valued. And one of the first things that we really try to have students understand and believe upon arrival is that what makes you different at Mercersburg is what makes you valuable. Your voice, your opinion, it's what is going to improve the learning for yourself, but also the students sitting next to you in the classroom or in the common room in the dorm. Embracing what makes you true to yourself will only make the community stronger and better off. It is something that we do not take for granted, is trusting us with your children. The time difference, the location, the distance from home, it's a big undertaking, and we feel privileged to have that support from parents in trusting us to watch and care for your child. Are very lucky in this day and age to have technology that allows us to kind of be in constant communication. So regardless of the time difference, we can send updates in writing, but we also, through our parent and alumni office, will have monthly opportunities for parents to connect and listen to either live or the recording of a parent session led by one of our school leaders. So you don't need to be on campus to put faces to names. You'll be able to interact with these adults that are a constant in your child's life. We're actually gearing up to welcome our students at the beginning of the end of the month, I guess I should say. But the night before, we're going to have a meal for parents of students living abroad, just so, again, you can put faces to names and make sure all of your questions are answered while you're on campus and before you do this big task of leaving your child with us. For those that aren't able to come to campus, like I said, I think virtual conferencing is something that we really lean into, and we make ourselves available to answer questions and be a resource for you as you talk to your child, and then also just kind of get input from the adults in their life as well. We do our best to support them. Our Office of Student Life is very communicative as well. So around breaks and preparing for travel and any questions you have in that capacity, we answer really quickly. We have a 24-hour email policy, so whatever email you send to a faculty member, it will be responded to in 24 hours. But yeah, we're here to support your kids and love them as best we can when they're away from home. We have a student activities director, and she is a part of the Office of Student Life. So in every grade, so 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, we have a student activity representative that's elected by their class as someone that everyone in the grade can go to discuss what they think they would like to do as a student activity, whether it be on campus or off campus. And our director of student activities will meet with this group of elected students to kind of get a sense of what the students are interested in doing. There are some traditions like Halloween that will always be around. We always have a holiday party before we leave for winter break, but there are weekends that have a lot of flexibility to kind of allow students to weigh in what they'd like to do. So like I said, our location in proximity to Georgetown and Frederick, Maryland, allow for fun trips for longer Saturdays down there, and everything just requires that you sign up beforehand. But we always have an on-campus and an off-campus option for students. So if you're just kind of itching to be in a different area, you're welcome to do that and just take one of the trips off campus. But if you want to just kind of lay low, catch up on sleep and homework, hanging out with your friends, there will be an option in the Student Center every Friday and Saturday night as well. We have a wonderful college counseling team. We also have a 4-year program. So we get to know students as soon as they arrive to Mercersburg, and we're happy to help with families navigate this impending feeling of anxiety with the college search for their child. So for Parent and Alumni Weekend, the college counseling team, and that typically happens the first month into school. We understand that not all families are able to travel back to campus, but we'll record it and share it out. So we offer this preparatory session for families to start thinking about the year ahead in a grade appropriate way. If you're in your 9th grade year, you're going to have different priorities to your 11th grade year. At the start of your 11th grade year is when you'll get your college counselor assigned to you. Every college counselor has a group of 35 to 40 students, so it's very manageable, and this person is able to get to know everyone on an individual level. They'll have reviewed all of the advisor's notes from the years before. And an advisor is someone that's assigned to a student as soon as they arrive to campus to help them navigate any adversity that comes their way on the academic, social, co-curricular side. So to try to, one, be a point of contact for the parents throughout the year, but also be a support system for the students. This person, this faculty member, staff member will get to know a student very well. Parents and families will receive letters from them at the end of the year, just kind of outlining the year in review, if you will. And this is something that the college counselor will also have access to. So they'll get a sense of a student's experience through their 4 years of Mercersburg through these letters, but also in one-on-one conversations about what academic interests the student has, what geographic area they are thinking they might want to attend. I love cold weather, but no, that's not for everyone. So kind of helping them think about what schools and will bring out the best of them in college. We do our best to make it as accessible and comprehensive as possible without adding extra layers of anxiety. But we have a 100% college placement rate for students. So you will have an option after Mercersburg, and students, from what I've heard, arrive in colleges and universities and are really happy with their decision. So it's always in the best interest of the student and the family.